Okay, hi everybody. This is Vern's Talk Show, and I have it on about every week, a couple of times, and I just started this about maybe 4 or 6 months ago, and I'm doing very well with it, and I have a lot of people coming down here, put them on TV, and you'd be surprised who likes to be on TV. Ed, you can introduce yourselves.
Okay. I'm Ginger Kosmosky with Coldwell Banker, Seward Realtors, and I've been in the real estate business for 38 years full-time.
And my name is J.R. Seward of Coldwell Banker Seward Realtors. I'm the broker-owner of Coldwell Banker Seward Realtors. This will be my 39th year in business, and I feel privileged to be here on Vern's show and be able to answer some questions regarding real estate.
Yeah, sure, that's what we want. I mean, people want to see what you got to say, and, they probably learn quite a bit about it. And I'm surprised, I know they can get in contact with you at the office or
Yep.
whenever they want to.
Yep. They can either call us.
You give them the hours.
Sure. Well, they can actually call the number anytime. Because we'll get their message and we'll give them a call back, so
sure.
They're not limited on that. If they're going to stop in, the office is open from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and on Saturday mornings.
On Saturday morning.
Right.
Just from what, 8 to 12 or?
Actually 9 to noon.
9 to noon,
Yep,
okay.
Yep, but they can call anytime, and we will be glad to meet with them by appointment if it happens to be on another time that the office isn't open.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, I know you can call anytime, you'll go on to the service.
That's right.
Then you take it off of there
Or they can call us directly too.
and get a hold of you.
And get a hold of us.
Sure.
We're happy to meet with buyers
sure.
or sellers after 5, after 6,
Sure.
on the weekends, if that works for them,
Sure.
So
Okay.
they just need to give us a call.
Okay, that's for them to know, It's, they'll probably use it, I mean.
Yep.
Oh,
Give me
sure.
a call.
And if I may, our office is located right on 8th Street at 325 8th Street South.
Okay,
We're right across the street from the Cravings Coffee Shop.
okay,
And our phone number is 715-424-4800. Or they can go online and they can find us at coldwellbankerseward.com.
oh, sure. Well, I put it to you this way, if they want to get hold of you, they'll get hold of you.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, this is what this show's about. So you give the numbers out there, then you know where to call.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay, we could get back to the questions here. Okay. Now, number 6 here is, can a realtor or estate agent help me with my move to another area?
Okay. Ginger, you had talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last show, and yes, we can help buyers if they're moving, sellers if they're moving, well, buyers too, if they're moving out of the area, and they're looking for a home anywhere actually in the United States.
Sure.
I can call another Coldwell Banker office, talk to an agent there, and talk to the agent about this buyer and what they're looking for, and when they'll give them the information, and then refer you to this other agent in another community,
Sure.
so that they can help you. And then if we're selling your home, you're moving to this other area, there's nice coordination between us all. So that's real helpful in the sale and in the purchase of another home. So, yeah, definitely.
And when people are going to a new area, they don't know anybody, and
Right.
and they are sometimes concerned about whether or not it's somebody they can trust.
Oh, sure.
Exactly.
And we can help them with that part of it to make sure that they've got a trusted advisor on the other end.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, that helps quite a bit.
It does.
People would like to know this, I know a lot of them would like to know. I know I would. That when they get there, then I'll be well taken care
There's
of.
someone there that we know and that we've referred them to, and,
Oh, sure.
you know, and they just, they feel more comfortable with working with that agent than just
Sure.
calling someone that
Well,
they
yeah,
don't know.
oh, sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise you're just out on a limb, you don't know where you're at.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's, and I know quite a bit about, you know, people get in contact with other ones, and some of them they have good luck, some they don't have such good luck. And good thing, you know, that you come out with it and say that, you know, how they can get hold of you. You help them out, that's what they like to hear.
Right, right.
I know I would.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, ready to go on to the next one?
Sure.
Okay, here. What can you do to help someone that is handling an estate?
Okay, right. Well, oftentimes we get a call from a family member that might be representing an estate, and that's a lot of responsibility sometimes to fall on one person, and especially if they're from outside the area, and we run into that,
That's right.
often, and it can be very overwhelming. So one of the things that we do is we have connections with different providers,
Mhm.
like moving services, helping them with an estate sale, helping them to maybe recommend somebody to help them with some of the legal process, with that estate. So we can help guide them through that process because there's a lot there.
Sure.
And we get asked questions, Vern, like, should I, try to sell the house with all the furniture in it? Or is it better if I get all the furniture out of it? What should I do first?
Yeah.
And again, we can help them with that whole process.
Oh, sure.
And also, sometimes you'll have more than one seller. You may have like three
Brothers and sisters,
siblings,
yeah.
brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And so we have, what's really nice, because we can coordinate the signatures. We got electronic signature signing, so we can go in their email. The
Oh,
other
sure.
siblings can electronically sign
Oh,
the
sure.
documents. We can put them all on conference calls, so we can all talk together, decide on what we're going to list it at, what the next
Good
step
plan.
should be, get them all together on the phone, and like I say, then everything can go out with electronic signatures, so they don't have to come and meet with me, all of them. And they may be living in different areas,
Yes.
So that's how we can help them.
And that's very common too, and sometimes the executor of the estate is worried about making the wrong decision, or they want to keep everybody informed, and because their brothers and sisters, like Ginger mentioned, might live in different places.
Right.
And so we can, help keep everybody in the loop, and help them with the process right from the time the home is getting ready to go on the market to when the house is actually selling.
We actually have a program that goes out to our sellers that tells them, that it was advertised and where it was advertised, how many hits are online, how many showings, what the showing comments were, and we can get this to all the sellers at one time, so they can all see what's going on with what we've been doing with their property,
Yeah.
where we've been advertising it,
Sure.
where it's been online and how many people viewed it. So all these sellers can see
Oh,
this. And so that one person that's in charge doesn't have to call them all and tell them, because we're taking care of that for them.
It's a good point.
I suppose it helps them out quite a bit.
It does.
I mean,
It does, yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Well, they don't have that responsibility. Well, now I got to call all of them and tell them that we did
Right.
this or we did that, because we're doing that for them. Our job is
Oh,
to
sure.
get them all that information.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a realtor business or car business or whatever, but, you learn a lot by talking to people, and then you can know what you can do. I mean, I learned this when I was in the car business. And I tell you, it really meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
I mean, and real estate, it was, well, something like it. The age is the same, but, you're talking to people and that,
Sure.
Still comes down to helping people
Right,
get
yeah,
what they want.
right, yeah. Well, it seems, you try to show them the house that they would like, and that's the same as car lot, you show the people the car they like, it's same difference, only it's a car versus house.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I know all about this because I've been in the business, and some people they're really good. Some of them you gotta coax more. I mean,
Have to find out really what they're looking for, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Listening to the
Yeah.
buyers, listening to sellers.
So
It's an important part of our job,
I know open houses that you've been at. Wife and I, we've been in a lot of them with you,
Yes, you have.
and and we enjoy it. I mean, I hope you don't mind.
No.
I mean,
No.
it's and we enjoy it. I mean, it's something to do, and
Uh-huh.
I can't do much of anything else anymore in my life, but go and talk to people and that's what I like.
And now you get to do it on TV.
Now I get to do it on TV, and so do you.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Thank you.
And we hope this helps you along a lot. I'm sure it will. You're probably busy all the time now.
Well, that's good. That's the way I like to be.
But I mean, it's,
Ginger's always happiest when she's busy.
And that is really true.
yeah, well, time goes by faster. I mean, when you're busy, I know that myself. I mean, when I'm busy, look at my watch and look at it again. Geez, half an hour, 45 minutes is gone already. And I didn't do none yet. That's just the way it goes.
Your wife told me that about you.
Oh, she did.
Yeah. She said, it's been a half an hour and you haven't done anything yet.
That's true. That's true. That goes on day after day. But that's our telling. I mean, that's okay. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, we done with that one?
Sure.
Okay, we'll go on number 8 here. What are the advantages of having a home inspection for the seller and for the buyer?
Want to take the buyer?
Sure. A buyer, I always recommend a home inspection. I mean, there's places like up in the attic that maybe the seller hasn't been up there for years, and I'm not going to go up in the attic, and they aren't, that, there's things up there that are happening the seller doesn't know about. And so, the seller wants you to find these things too,
sure.
so you don't,
Oh, yeah.
after closing, find out that the roof had a leak, So it's important for a buyer to have a home inspection. The home inspector looks at, crawls up in the attic, goes on the roof usually. They check the furnace, make sure that's working properly. If they can check the air conditioner,
sure.
they do. The water heater, the plumbing, the electrical system. There's double tapping, we see that quite often. He'll walk around the house and he'll check everything. And that's really good to have. You have that report. And then if there's something that needs to be addressed, to the seller,
sure.
we've got an inspector who is a Wisconsin licensed home inspector. He's been trained to put up red flags if something doesn't look right. Sometimes we'll also need to have a further inspection.
Oh, sure.
Because he's not an electrician, he's not a plumber, but he knows what to look for. So he'll recommend further evaluation
Oh, sure.
by, let's say, an electrician, which then can give us an estimate of what it would cost to fix. So the buyer and the seller know. And then we can go back to negotiations sometimes and say, well, this needs to be fixed, it's going to cost $500. Sometimes the seller will pay the whole $500, sometimes the seller will pay part of it, because if it's an upgrade to the system already there, sometimes the seller says, well, yes, I'll be willing to pay part of it, but you're getting a better system now, an upgraded
Sure.
system. So maybe you need to contribute a little bit. So we go back again to negotiating that, the home inspection. That would be on the buyer's part, for doing that.
Oh,
The
yeah.
buyers usually pay for a home inspection.
Oh.
And they're usually with the home inspector at least the last half an hour of the home inspection. And at that time, I like to be there, or my assistant Barb, to be there to go over everything. Most home inspectors, they like to be there a total of about 3 hours. And then the last half an hour, they like to meet with the buyer and meet with the realtor and go over the whole inspection report.
Oh, sure.
Point out the things they've found, so that I can explain it to the seller. Because I can see a picture, but it's not the same thing as being able to talk to the inspector and explain it.
Right.
Okay?
And one of the other, I think, benefits to the buyer before I talk about the seller is that it gives the buyer an idea of what things they need to maintain, what things they need to plan for
Okay.
that maybe are getting near the end of their life,
Mhm.
that they need to budget for replacing in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's very helpful, even if the house is in great shape, to be able to have
Right.
that kind of almost maintenance schedule.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
And on the seller side of it, if I can talk about that, the advantage of a seller having a home inspection done as part of them listing the property, and generally the inspections cost anywhere from $300 to, let's say, $450, depending upon the price of the home and the size of the home. I shouldn't say the price of the home, the size of the home. And each home inspector sets their own fee. But the advantage of a seller having an inspection, having it we call a pre-inspection done, is that then if there are some things that need to be taken care of, they can get those repairs done. And then they have something that they can show the buyer. We had a home inspection done on our home, and these were the things that we took care of.
Sure.
And so that buyer then is able to buy with a higher level of confidence. And the advantage to the seller, even though they spent
Sure.
let's say $350, $400, whatever the amount is, they know then that after they've already, if they wait for the buyer to do it, they may have already negotiated a price. They may have already come down on their price as low as they're willing to go, and now they just found out that they've got a problem, with the plumbing that needs to be taken care of, and it's going to cost $1,500. If they would have known that in the beginning, they maybe would have been less negotiable on the price,
Sure.
taking care of it ahead of time, and there's a less of a chance of the transaction falling apart.
Or a seller may want to put a home warranty,
Yes,
a seller home warranty on their
that's
property.
a good point.
When a seller lists their home, they can agree to a seller home warranty, which they're covered from the time they're listed then for 6 months. And that will cover them for things that would happen if they'd had a leaky faucet or the furnace, water heater, plumbing, electrical. It covers those items, the working components of the home for the seller.
Right.
The seller pays a $75 deductible per service call, and then the rest is covered.
And they don't have to actually pay that, Vern, until the house sells.
They have to pay the deductible, but not for the warranty.
Right.
And if they used the warranty during the time it was listed, but the home didn't sell, which is very unlikely, but let's say it didn't, then they would not have to buy the warranty.
Oh, I see.
And they could still have the benefit of having this warranty on their home
Oh,
while
sure.
they have it listed.
Yeah. Well,
Isn't that great?
good to know?
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
And
Yeah.
list your home.
Yeah. Well, I ain't gonna list mine. I'm too old. I'm too old to move.
Okay.
I just ain't got it in me no more like that, I'll tell you.
I can help you.
Oh, I'm sure you can. I'm sure both of you can. But, I don't have no desire to go anywhere,
Okay,
to move or anything. I mean, this is the home I got, and that's where I'm gonna
good.
put my last days in, I guess.
Okay.
And, I mean, I ain't got nothing against your sales or anything, don't figure that
You
way.
have to have a place to live, right?
I got a
Yeah,
place
you don't
to
have to
live.
sell your home for me.
No, I hope not. I mean, I know, if you hear anything I'm gonna sell, well, you can come over, whatever,
Uh-huh.
talk about it, but right now, we both agree that we're gonna stay right where we're at.
There you go.
All right.
And you should, as long as you
And-
possibly can.
And we like our home
Yep.
very much. I mean, we got a nice sized lawn, and I got a big tractor to cut it with. Hey, I can't wish for any better.
Exactly.
Better
That's
life. I
great.
mean, I can't. I mean, I got a good life. We both have.
That's wonderful.
That is wonderful.
And, I mean, you put over 50-some years. Yeah.
Okay.
Is she talking over it or what? But I mean, if that's the way it is,
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, now we go to the next one here. Is there anything a seller is responsible for after a sale?
You want to answer that?
Okay,
Is
well,
is that new to you? Or?
no.
Well,
That depends.
uh-huh. Exactly.
That depends, and I'll explain. In the state of Wisconsin, a homeowner is responsible for completing what's called a condition report. And they need to answer those questions. These questions have been
Mhm.
set by the state that cover everything from, are you aware of any problems with the roof, the plumbing, the electrical, any insect infestation, any number of things. And so as long as they answer those questions honestly, that they don't have any knowledge of those things that they're being asked about, then no, they really shouldn't be responsible for anything after the sale.
They don't have to have it inspected. They just have to disclose if they have any knowledge, if they know
Correct.
of any of these
Oh,
defects.
sure.
That's correct.
Mhm.
Yep. So we always encourage our sellers to be as honest as possible, because when you do that, then the buyer's like, oh, well, that's not, that crack in the basement wall that the seller put down isn't that bad, but where it becomes a problem is when a seller doesn't put something down and then it's discovered by the buyer afterwards.
sure.
And what do you think they wonder? What else didn't they tell me? That's what they start thinking.
Oh, yeah, imagine.
So as long as they haven't misrepresented anything,
Mhm.
their
That's correct.
responsibility for that home ends when the house closes
Oh.
and it transfers to the next person.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, our last one, are we done with that one now, or? Okay.
Unless there's something you
I
wanted to add?
think so. No,
Oh, okay.
occasionally we will get a call from a buyer who discovers something. And, we do try to, we will try to contact the previous seller, and we'll just say the buyer, let us know this, They may have some information they can
Oh,
give
sure.
us to give to the buyer,
Right.
But that's really as far as we can go,
Correct.
as far as resolving it.
Well, it all, is each other help each other out.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I mean, you help them out, they help you out.
Yeah.
I mean, and if one don't, well, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
We try to let the seller know that
You
this
know.
is what's happening.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I think they're really relaxed with that.
Mhm.
I mean, I know I would be. I mean, if I'm kind of getting out of the order that, well, then I'd like to have you straighten me out. That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we just have time for one more here, and that's the last one. How long does it take a home to sell, and once a home is sold, how long does the owner have to get out of the home?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, like JR spoke about in the other session we had, the time it takes for a home to sell varies depending on the price range the home is in. It has a lot to do with it. So when we do this market analysis, it'll tell you homes in this price range, the average time it takes to sell.
Here.
Right now, it's about, if we put them all together, about 5 months, right? So, but, different price ranges, they sell a lot quicker.
Oh, sure.
And some price ranges, they take a lot longer, too. So, this is an average of all of them that have sold. Now, once we get an offer to purchase on a property, the offer to purchase will give a closing date. And then that closing date usually means you should be out on that day, the day of closing.
You set the closing date, right?
The buyer will
It's
write the
negotiated.
closing date in there.
Oh, buyer,
But
okay.
the seller can counter the closing date if they want. They
Okay.
can say, oh my gosh, I can't be out in 45 days, I need 60 days.
Oh,
Then we
sure.
simply counter it.
Oh, yeah.
A seller can also counter occupancy on day of closing.
Mhm.
Typically a buyer wants occupancy on the day of closing.
Oh, sure.
That's the typical. But we have done where there's an addendum O, which is an occupancy addendum, and they agree to let the seller stay in the home for 5 days
Oh,
after
sure.
closing, or 2 days.
Yeah.
And sometimes a buyer will agree to that, sometimes they won't. This all needs to be negotiated, right?
Yeah, right.
So it varies, but you have control. When you list your home, and you don't have to worry about someone bringing in an offer and you have to be out in 30 days. You don't have to be out at any time. It's negotiated in the offer to purchase
Oh, I see.
when you have to be out of the
Oh,
home.
I see, okay.
So you don't have to worry about that when you list,
Mhm.
but, you should plan on probably, at the, let's say, 45 days,
Oh, sure.
at the least, up to like 60 days is a typical time from when you get an offer till you close. It's typically 45 to 60 days.
Okay.
But it may take a month to get an offer.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, when that offer comes in, that's when you review the offer and decide if that closing date is going to work for you,
Oh, sure.
for the seller. And if you can be out on that date, or you counter it.
Oh, yeah.
But the seller has control of the occupancy.
So that was my next question.
The
You
seller
answered
has
already,
control.
so-
And one of the things that we find it's helpful for sellers to know is they should start packing those things that they're not going to be using anyways.
Right, right.
So get those things ready, boxed up, maybe have them in the basement or in the garage, or maybe even a storage facility, whichever is going to work
Sure.
easier. And
Okay.
and so, you want to be preparing
Mhm.
Oh, sure.
because
Because
it's
if you're
not.
going to move anyway,
it's
you might as well
not-
box
exactly,
them. Mhm.
Exactly. It's not a case of if it's going to sell, it's a case of when it's going to sell.
Okay. Okay, we only got about two minutes left here. You want to give your phone number and that over
Sure,
again?
sure. Again, people can contact us at Coldwell Banker Seward Realtors. We're located at 325 8th Street South, right across from the Cravings Coffee Shop. Stop into the office anytime or give us a call at 715-424-4800. And our website is coldwellbankerseward.com. And thank you again, Vern, for having
thank you,
Ginger
Vern.
and I
Fine,
on the
yeah.
show.
Thanks for
We
having
Glad I
us.
can have you.
appreciate this
Have
opportunity.
you on the show.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
That's what I like. I mean, I like to get more people on the show with me
Uh-huh.
and talk about different things. That's good. I
Okay.
like that.
Great.
Well, we really believe that it's important that everybody has a trusted real estate advisor, because
sure.
as you know from sitting through the 2 sessions that we've done, there's a lot to it.
Oh, yeah, there is. If you just sit and think about it,
Yeah, there is.
there is quite a bit, And a lot of they think maybe not, but it's there.
Right.
That's right.
Thank
It's
you
an
again.
important decision. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming. And